Hello guys, welcome back to Visionary Fragrances. My name's George, thanks for joining me. As you can tell from the thumbnail, today we are talking about Parfums De Marly's Carlisle. I'm going to go through the notes, what I think of this, the performance, and if I think it's worth it. So stay right there and enjoy the video. As I'm sure you've seen from previous videos on this channel, Parfums De Marly are one of my favourite niche fragrance brands. I think that they are very good quality fragrances. They have something for everyone. They're normally very good at these sort of sweet oriental fragrances, and Carlisle is no different. But for me, this is one of the best fragrances in the Parfums De Marly's whole range, and I'm going to go through the notes with you now. They're listed on the back because this is a perfume bottle, and I'll put a picture up on the screen so you can see it. But the main notes are green apple, nutmeg, saffron, tonka bean, rose, vanilla and patchouli. Of course there's a couple of other notes there, but they are the main notes. I do also pick up tobacco in Carlisle. It's not listed on here, but that could be a mix of the Davana and the Osmanthus maybe with the rose. I do pick up a tobacco-like scent. But for me, the main players in Carlisle are going to be the green apple and saffron in the opening. You get the saffron goes through the life of the fragrance. I feel you get that spiciness that goes through the whole life of the fragrance. The tonka bean mixes with the vanilla, and they're both sweet notes. They kind of blend really well together. And you've got patchouli, and patchouli is at the base, and that stays heavy in the base, and you can smell it all the way through. So they're the main notes I get from Carlisle. I find Carlisle to be a very mysterious fragrance, so if you're wearing this and people smell it on you, which they will do, they're not going to think you're wearing just a normal cologne, you know, like an old-fashioned Paco Rabanne cologne or a Dior Sauvage, Jean Paul Gaultier La Mer. This is going to smell so different, and people won't even recognise that you're wearing a fragrance necessarily. They just think that you smell very, very good. I think this smells very expensive, so if you imagine what a rich person smells like, I know that rich people don't have a scent necessarily, but if you imagine someone successful, someone who has their life together, someone really smartly dressed, I think Carlisle works wonderfully when you think of someone like that. You're going to smell very well put together, and you're going to smell very expensive. I wear Carlisle mostly during special occasions because it's an expensive fragrance, and it's one that I don't want to wear day in, day out, because I find that with the more kind of precious fragrances that I own, the ones that I'm really proud about, I don't want to wear them all the time, because then you become bored of them and the memories that you create with that just kind of blend into one. So I like to wear this during special occasions, and then when you smell it, you get all the nice memories that come back to you. It's one that I reach for more often than not during special occasions, simply because it's very wearable, the performance is outstanding, and I know that everywhere I go, people are always going to like it. I've never had a negative reaction to Carlisle, and I always get a lot of compliments, which goes down to how well it performs. You are going to get solid performance from this. You're talking sort of 8 to 12 hours on the skin, a nice 2 to 3 hours projection, and if you spray it on your clothes, it will last until you wash them. You may have heard of an alternative to Carlisle, a slightly cheaper alternative from the house of Mancera, Red Tobacco. I can definitely see where you can get the relevance between Carlisle and Red Tobacco. I can see where people say they do smell slightly similar. In the opening, I find Red Tobacco to be very loud. It's a kind of a mixture of various different notes. It's not very smooth, it's very aggressive and really projects. So in the opening, it doesn't smell like Carlisle at all. But when the top notes settle down and you're left with mainly the tobacco notes and the base notes, I can get the similarities, I can understand why they're compared, but I would not say that Mancera is a clone or the Carlisle is a clone. I think that they're very different fragrances. Carlisle is a much, much more polished version of Mancera's Red Tobacco. So if you're looking to buy Carlisle but for slightly cheaper, I suppose you could say they're similar, but they are not at all the same. What I will say about Red Tobacco though is it's an absolute beast of a performer, even more so than Carlisle, and also it's a lot cheaper. This will run you around £120 for 120ml, whereas Carlisle you're looking at roughly £240 for 125ml, so there's a big difference in the price. But like I say, Carlisle is a polished, finished product where Mancera is a brash, loud and in-your-face fragrance, but I do understand the similarities. So during the verdict, I'm going to go through 5 different questions that will help you understand my thoughts on it, and then would be able to let me recommend it to you or not. So number 1, do I like it? As you could tell, yes, I absolutely love Carlisle. I think it's a fantastic fragrance and one of the best releases from Parfums De Marly, and I would 100% recommend it to anyone. Number 2, when should you wear it? For me, formal occasions. Autumn, winter is when it's going to work best. If you wear it in the summer, make sure that you don't spray too much, and definitely wear it to outdoor events. Imagine an outdoor barbecue, an outdoor party, this would work fantastically well, and I have worn it myself in those occasions. Number 3, is there any alternatives? Yes, we've discussed an alternative, a potential alternative, Mancera's Red Tobacco. If you want something that's not quite as smooth and as well-rounded as Carlisle, you can get a similar experience from Red Tobacco. And number 5, would I recommend it? Yes, absolutely. If you can afford it and you've saved up some money and you want to treat yourself to a very expensive smelling fragrance you can wear on special occasions, I would 100% recommend it. Well, that concludes this video. I really hope you enjoyed my Carlisle review. If you can think of another fragrance that you would wear instead of Carlisle, another fragrance that's similar, please put it down there in the comments. And if you made it this far and enjoyed this video, please hit that subscribe button. I'll see you in a few days with another video. Take care.